What's going on, YouTube? It's your boy Lonnie Reacts, and today we are back with another reaction video. Now, this is a video titled "Why It Sucked to Be a Roman Soldier." Now, I'm not sure what period of Rome this is going to be about, but I'm sure it would have sucked to be a Roman soldier in any given period, whether it be the 1st century or the 14th century. But with that being said, I don't have too much to say. This is about the YouTuber Stick Tory. I don't believe we've reacted to one of his videos on this account. We definitely have reacted to videos similar to this, the stick figures telling history. But with that being said, I don't have much to say. Let's jump into this video and see if we can learn something new.
You're born somewhere between 240 AD and 245 AD in a place called Moesia, basically the ancient version of the Balkans. It's cold, rugged, and full of people who'd rather stab you than say hello. Your dad? He's a Roman soldier. Tough guy. Probably yells just for cardio. Your mom? Well, she's not Roman. She's Thracian, which means two things. You have no idea what she's saying half the time, and she spends her nights kneeling in a dark room, chanting stuff that either means she's deeply spiritual, or maybe summoning something. But hey, family is family. See those guys in the towers? Yeah, they've been standing up there for hours, staring into the void like it owes them money. They're guarding the canopy, aka your home. Right next to those towers is a Roman fort, packed with soldiers, including your dad.
So yeah, this got to be like the 1st century, 2nd century.
And the sound of 200 guys pretending war starts in 10 minutes. Spoiler, it might. That's just Moesia. You don't know it yet, but living here is basically playing hardcore mode. If a soldier screw up, families, including yours, get wiped out. So yeah, sleep tight, kid. Sure, you were born in a war zone, but you've got something going for you. You're a Roman citizen, and in this time period, that's like having a VIP pass to not die poor. So, congrats. See, Moesia isn't some sleepy town in the middle of nowhere. It's Rome's human shield, and when someone decides to poke the empire, guess who gets hit first? Yep, you. You're 10. You and your friends run around with wooden swords, pretending you're soldiers, yelling way too loud and getting dirt in places dirt shouldn't be. Meanwhile, your dads are off doing the real thing. Until it's not a game anymore. Because here in your canopy, there's a little tradition. Once you can run without falling on your face, you're drafted into baby boot camp. It's just in case.
No way.
You know, in case barbarians show up uninvited and torch the place. Bonus perk, it prepares you for military service. Yay! And those drills? Absolutely torture. Try running miles with heavy stuff tied to your back while a sweaty centurion screams at you to keep going. By lunch, you're halfway to passing out. By sunset, you're hoping you just do. But the fun doesn't stop there. You get home thinking, finally, I can collapse. Wrong. You're a Roman boy, which means it's time for Latin lessons. And your teacher? Surprise! It's Dad. The same guy who's been screaming at recruits all day now gets to scream at you. You'd rather die than hear one more lecture about declensions. But if you even think about falling asleep during his lessons, yeah, you remember the slides? Just stay awake. Barely. After months of hellish drills and endless Latin rambling later, you finally reach a point where things calm down. You can speak Latin without butchering every sentence. And better yet, you can throw a spear without looking like a confused chicken. Congrats, you've leveled up into something worse. Now you're the errand boy for sweaty men with swords. You clean armor that smells like death and sweat. You deliver messages like some overworked human carrier pigeon. You're not even getting paid for this, by the way.
Hell no.
You're basically a teenage intern in ancient Rome. Before, you only had to worry about drills. Now you're thinking more, doing more, and stressing more. Your childhood is officially canceled. Then you turn 15, and just when you think things can't get worse, Rome breaks. Word reaches your camp that Emperor Valerian, yes, the emperor, got himself captured. Like, straight up taken prisoner. That's not just bad. That's what the hell is happening bad. This has never happened before. What follows? Pure chaos. Rome splits into 3 separate empires, like a group project gone horribly wrong. That means prices go nuts, order collapses, and soldiers, including your dad, stop getting paid. Why? Because nobody knows who's in charge of payroll anymore. You used to eat meat and porridge. Now, it's stale bread and boiled millet, if you're lucky. Dad's broke, food's expensive, and everyone's pretending this is totally fine while crying inside. Meanwhile, while the empire is falling apart like a cheap chariot, you're having your first existential crisis. Roman edition. You catch yourself staring at walls, asking the big questions. What even is my life? Is this it? Bread, drills, and disappointment? You've got exactly one option. Join the military. Not because it's your dream, but because you have literally nothing else. You don't even have fancy.
Shit, that's how it is now sometimes a lot.
And running off to Rome? Be serious. You'd probably get ambushed halfway there and end up robbed, stabbed, or both. And besides, everyone expects you to join anyway. Protect Rome like your father did, they say. You look at your father, unpaid, overworked, and dead inside, and think, yeah, sounds inspiring. But in the end, you sign up. You're 17 when they recruit you. You swear the sacred oath to obey Rome until death, which, let's be honest, could be next week. And in return, you get a sword that's older than you and armor that smells like someone else's failure. Congrats, you're officially in the auxiliary cohorts, just like your dad. Legacy unlocked. A few days later, you get your first mission. Wait, what? No training?
Damn.
Nope. No drills, no warm-ups. Instead, you're told to pack up and a long march straight into enemy territory. Because, obviously, when Rome is short on manpower, the solution is to send undertrained teenagers into danger. Genius. The march? Pure agony. Whatever physical training you thought you had, useless. Your feet are shredded. Your back is broken. You're seriously starting to question every life choice you've ever made. By the time you finally arrive, you're not even given time to limp. You're thrown straight into duties. Standing guard in freezing winds, trenches like a human shovel, cleaning out rank latrines that smell like death itself, and, oh yeah, burying actual dead soldiers.
Boy, that shit would have been too hard. But I will say it would have been like thousands of people. So, having thousands of people, helping you doing these different activities, that would help massively. But Jesus Christ. The logistics of having an army is just fucking insane, bro. Back in those days, insane.
Your friends. Somehow you find a few others.
Then motherfuckers could consistently build these large armies. Like, one army got wiped out. Okay, let's 20,000 more than shit crazy.
Reason you haven't snapped yet. One foggy morning, when you're out patrolling like usual, cold, tired, and hating life, you spot something moving in the mist. At first, it's just shapes, slow, creeping. You nudge the guy next to you and whisper, "Hey, you seen that?" He squints, then, yeah, you both see them. The Goths. And
the Goths.
Panic hits. You sound the alarm fast, shouting across the fort like your life depends on it. What follows is pure chaos. The Goths charge hard, but Rome's got something they don't. Formation drills and shared trauma. So you and your brothers in arms lock shields, hold the line, and for a few glorious minutes, it actually works. Then their reinforcements arrive. Suddenly, it's not a battle. It's a massacre. You watch your friends fall, your commander gutted like an animal. Fort building swallowed by fire. The air chokes with smoke, blood, and ash. Some soldiers flee. Big mistake. Running just makes them easier targets. You fight. You've already killed more Goths than you can count, but it's not enough. You're soaked in blood, barely standing and still completely outnumbered. Then you see it. Your friends, half buried in the mud, faces twisted in pain. They died protecting a crumbling empire, led by marble-loving cowards who stuff their faces with grapes and pretending they care. If they're lucky, they'll get a crooked wooden marker. If not, they're just part of the mud now. And you refuse to die like that. So with blood in your eyes and rage boiling in your chest, you rally the rest of the survivors. You yell, shove, scream them back into formation, and somehow, against every awful and possible odd, you push the Goths back. But there are no congratulations, no medals, no songs, just bodies, smoke, and silence. You made it through your first real battle, but the cost? Way too high. Your superiors take notice. Apparently, surviving a massacre and screaming your lungs out while dragging half-dead soldiers into formation counts as leadership potential. So they promote you. You're now an Optio, a junior commander. You're not leading an entire cohort, but now you get to shout orders instead of just following them. All you did was watch your friends die, and somehow that earns you a new title. Oh, and perks? You get a pay raise on paper. Don't hold your breath. Rome still owes your dad 3 months of back pay. The real benefit? You're not on the front lines anymore. You get to give orders instead of charging into the meat grinder. It's safer. Not safe, just safer.
Yeah.
While you're busy processing all that trauma in dead silence, Rome, Rome's falling apart. Again. The empire is split, and now the different regions are busy stabbing each other in the back instead of the enemy. Makes perfect sense. You think it's stupid. Turns out, you're not the only one. And then finally, someone steps up. Aurelian, a cavalry commander with a spine, the kind of man who doesn't wait for permission. He declares himself emperor, and you respect the hell out of him. So when he asks the Danube legions, including you,
Marcus
to help you unite Rome
Aurelius.
by force, you don't hesitate. You're in. You follow Aurelian, not because you're blindly loyal, but because maybe, just maybe, he's got a shot at saving what's left. Aurelian's first stop on his Let's Fix Rome tour, the Palmyrene Empire, a rogue breakaway state. Aurelian crushes it like it was a warm-up round. Next target, the Gallic Empire. This one's harder. They don't go down quietly. These battles are long, bloody, and relentless. The kind that break men and warp them into ghosts. You're sent ahead with a small detachment to hold a key route. Simple job. Block the path. Keep the enemy from sneaking through. And then, bam! Ambush. The Gallic forces hit hard and fast. You barely manage to lift your sword before half your detachment is dead. Supplies? Gone. You're left bleeding out on the rocks, wondering if this is how your story ends. But somehow, you drag your broken body back to camp. The medics take one look at you and shake their heads. You're not fit for duty. Recommendation? Dismissal. You protest. Of course you do. This isn't just a job anymore. It's your identity. You are a soldier. You are Roman shield. But your superiors? They don't care. You're injured, which means you're not useful anymore. So they discharge you, pat you on the back, and send you off with a land grant and a forced retirement.
Damn.
You retreat to quiet life, somewhere far from battle cries and burning forts. You farm. You sleep. You eat boiled millet again. But the quiet doesn't bring peace. Most nights you lie awake, haunted by the faces of friends who never made it home. You gave Rome everything, your youth, your strength, your soul. In return, a broken body and a lonely patch of dirt. Because that's what Rome does. It demands everything, and then forgets the people who gave it. History won't remember your name. It'll remember the senators who argued while cities burned. The emperors who watched provinces fall like dominoes. The cowards. The talkers. But you were there when it all began to fall apart. And the only reason Rome didn't collapse sooner was because of men like you.
It was a really good video. Let me cancel this. Oh yeah, that was a really good video. It kind of did give me more of a perspective on just what being a Roman soldier would be like. You know, you give your life to this fucking empire. You fight for this empire for fucking 15 years, just for them to, okay, you know, we'll give you some money, give you a few acres, teach you how to farm, and you know, that's how you'll live the rest of your life. Like, you know, I guess, but it's like, damn, you know, I did all that. But yeah, that was actually a really good video. I would love to react to more videos like that. I need to react to more videos like that. I need to expand my my genres. But yeah, the really nice video. Let me go back to that account. I'm going to subscribe to him in case I come across videos like that again. Really good account, man. But if you did like this video, please like it and subscribe so I can continue doing these type of videos. And I'll see you guys next time.